Good day everyone. This is Dr. Annalyn de Saavedra of Western Mindanao State University, Zamboanga City, Philippines, and I will be presenting to you my second topic on the speaking ability in the English and Filipino languages among elementary learners. The ability to speak is the skill that makes human beings superior and different from other species of living beings. This ability is also known as one of the macro skills is complex cognitive and linguistic skill. In the K-12 curriculum, the ability and learning of the learners is being assessed through oral performance. This may be done by oral recitation, debate, oral presentation, and the like. English and Filipino are the two official languages of the Philippines declared by its institution to be used as the medium of instruction starting in the elementary level. It was in 1974 that the bilingual education policy was established through Department Order No. 52. It was recommended by the Soriano Committee to use both English and Filipino languages as media of instruction in both elementary and high school depending on the subjects. For example, subjects like English, communication arts, mathematics, and science would require the use of English language, while for Filipino communication arts, social studies, and history subjects, Filipino language will be used. It is in this light that the researcher conducted this study, which primarily aims to assess the level of the speaking ability of the selected elementary learners. This study intends to determine the extent of proficiency of the speaking skill in English and Filipino among the selected 6th grader pupils in one of the divisions of Zamboanga Peninsula. There are 180 pupil respondents from the different public schools which were chosen through stratified sampling. Using the standardized series of pictures taken from the Language Expressway 6, pupils were asked to form a story out of the pictures and narrated it orally within 15 minutes. The researcher recorded the speaking narration which were rated by 3 grade 6 language teachers coming from non-participating schools who had been teaching for more than 10 years. The respondents' scores were then interpreted using the assessment matrix of the Department of Education Order No. 8 series of 2015. If the learner has a mean score or grade of 90.00 to 100.00, it is interpreted as outstanding and has a remark of passed. If the score is 84.50 to 89.99, it is described as very satisfactory and has a passing mark. 79.50 to 84.49 is interpreted as satisfactory and has a remark of passed. If the score is 74.50 to 79.49, it is interpreted as fair and also has a remark of passed. However, if the learner's score is 74.49 below, it means that it did not meet the expectation and has a remark of failed. Based on the tabulated scores, the respondents got a mean score of 73.219 with a standard deviation of 2.108 in English. This means that the elementary learners did not meet the level that is expected from a grade 6 learner in the Philippines. On the other hand, they got a mean score of 78.965 with a standard deviation of 1.945 in their speaking ability in Filipino language. Based on Department Order No. 8 series of 2015, we can say that learners' speaking skill in Filipino is fair and it is under the passing mark. The findings revealed that the respondents have a higher speaking ability in Filipino language compared to the English language. Table 1.0 is showing the speaking level of the selected grade 6 pupils. We can see that in English language, The learners did not meet the expectation, while in the Filipino language, they have a fair proficiency. The data also shows that there is a significant difference in the respondent score between the two languages tested. This means that the learners did not meet the level of speaking ability in English, which is expected to a grade 6 learner. However, the respondents have a fair level in their speaking ability in the Filipino language. Several studies show that many of the learners have low level of speaking ability. Rosli, Yunus, and Hasim 2018 had also found out in their study why many students, especially the second language learners, have the difficulty in expressing their thoughts orally. They mentioned that having large classes causes the speaking activities to be difficult to perform. Classrooms are often cramped and crowded, containing mixed levels of language proficiency, and there is a general dearth of facilities and incentives for keen learners. This result was also cited in the study of Al-Maruki 2012. The respondents likewise found that speaking practices in their book are insufficient to be used, and this is indicated how the administration neglected to give and pick proficient materials to the speaking lessons. They also added that psychological factors are a significant factor that cause the weak performance in English speaking. The participants felt nervous and shy when they have to speak in English, and this impacted on their performances. When the students are impaired with the nervousness and shyness, they could not express their ideas properly as they are not confident on their own capabilities. This results in poor speeches during presentations, where the students are depending on scripts rather than trying to speak spontaneously. The students' lack of confidence plus the lack of speaking trials outside the classroom context could also cause the students from speaking well. The respondents also admitted that they seldom participated in oral lessons even though they knew the answers. This showed how passive they were in a lesson, and while teachers were asking for their opinions or elaboration on certain topics, students chose to remain silent rather than voicing out their thoughts freely. Furthermore, students are afraid of being judged by their peers. They did not want to appear silly in front of the class, and so they refused to speak out in order to avoid mistakes. As 55% of the respondents showed agreement towards the focus of teachers upon the active students in classroom, this proved how the teachers are not treating the students equally and attentively. Passive and problematic students are actually those who needed the students' focus more than the active ones. Teachers should give attention to the weak ones as to motivate their progress as well as making sure of their speaking improvements. Therefore, this study concludes that based on the scores of the learners, their ability in speaking English is not yet developed. They still lack the standard of speaking ability that is expected from a grade 6 learner, based on the Department Order No. 8 Series of 2015. They still need to improve some speaking components such as their organization of thoughts, the correct grammar, and vocabulary. Although English is considered to be Filipino's second language, but since it is one of the media of instruction used in the public schools and one of the official languages in the government transaction and communication, therefore, we can say that improving our learners' ability in speaking English is a need. The study also noted that learners have higher speaking ability in Filipino, which considered as fair. This result is also proven in many Filipino studies. Perhaps this can be attributed to the influence of television programs which uses Filipino medium. Aside from that, Filipino has been the medium of instruction for a long time, and the fact that Filipino language is the national language and lingua franca of the Philippines. All of these are factors why the pupil respondents are more proficient in Filipino compared to English language. Therefore, this study recommends that curriculum developers should look into the other factors that causes the low speaking level of the learners in order to come up with appropriate programs and classroom activities that will help improve the speaking ability of pupils, especially in the English language. That ends my presentation. Thank you for watching.